sometimes I'll be at home and I'll get this phone call. It's from the shop. Bonnie, there's somebody here. They brought this thing in. Can you come over? And I'll tell my husband, I've got an emergency at the yarn shop. I don't know when I'll be home. And I'll jump on my bike and I'll pedal on over here. And I'll save the day.
A yarn shop emergency.
Yes.
My name is Patricia Herman, and I've been knitting since I was 10. So, and I am just starting to weave and spin now. I am a partial owner of the Wisconsin Wool Exchange.
I'm Bonnie Beverstock, and Pat and I bought this shop from the previous owners along with Susan about 1.5 years ago, and we changed some things in it, but we kept a lot of things the same. Mostly we focus on local products, so some of our wools come from Wisconsin Rapids, and alpaca comes from Custer, Amherst, and we've got llama from around here somewhere.
Mostly everything comes from someplace in Wisconsin. One person comes from Minneapolis, and then we get yarn from Minnesota. That's the yarn behind us.
And Nebraska.
And Nebraska.
Well, we each take a shift or two during the week.
I help out in the store as much as I can and come and sit. A lot of times people come and knit or crochet or do other crafts during the day.
And just knitting with us, or that they might stop next door and get a cookie or some coffee, or just come in and sit with us. It's such a fun place to be. People can come in here and bring whatever they're working on. It doesn't have to be knitting or crocheting. It can be quilting. It can be embroidery or whatever. If anybody has a problem with anything, they can bring their work in, and we can help them out with it. And so we're developing this community, and we, anybody's really invited to come. It's certainly not exclusive.
And Bonnie was
And I only met you on Tuesday night because you were this crazy woman who came in here wondering how to do short rows.
Yes.
And I didn't know, but you made me teach you.
And Bonnie persevered through the evening with me.
Yes.
That was the first time that I ever saw or talked to Bonnie.
Yes, yeah. So you kind of knew what you were getting yourself into with me. I had no idea. I just thought
I knew one thing is that if somebody came in with a problem, you were going to...
I would figure it out. Oh, there's socks. Socks are addicting. And also, I like to make sweaters. This is a sweater that I made from Corriedale wool from Wisconsin Rapids, and the sheep live in Wisconsin Rapids, and the lady who owns them, she doesn't spin all the wool, she sends it to a mill to be spun, but then she does the dyeing of the wool, and you can see there are some irregular colored bits in the wool, and I love it. I think it just really adds to the charm of the piece.
And there's this thing about mistakes that you suddenly make because you're making it by hand. And they're not mistakes. They just work themselves into the product, and it becomes part of your personal expression.
But, you know, talking about things that you make yourself, making them out of local materials is something that is sort of gaining in popularity, like local foods and things like that. We just love it that we can make things that really come from here.
Yeah, and there's the process, the sheep, the shearing, the spinning, the dyeing. All these processes are represented in the store someplace. And if you can get yarn that's been handled instead of machine made, it just seems like what you're wearing is so much I don't know, cooler. No,
It's cooler.
it's cooler.
You bet. I love the textures. I love the light. Here I am with this ribbing. Okay, so you get the shadow, you get the light and the shadow, you get the play of that. You can do lace, you can do cables, you can do, here's a cable, you can do plain things, you can make warm things. They're so wonderful and they're so beautiful.
These arts are so downplayed because the industrial age came along and just totally took away the woman who used to weave and used to spin. And now it's coming back, and people are very excited about trying this again.
You know, we're not trying to compete with Shopko or Kohl's or any of those places. We're just our own little place.